Would you switch over? Okay. Hello, everyone. Welcome to FashTech Hub Fashion Tech Talk. My name is Qing, and I'm today's moderator. So in today's session, we will have two speakers. So let me introduce Claire Zhang, founder of techmoy.com. Hi, Claire.
Hi, everyone.
And Ellen P, Public Relations and Partnership Director at Taiwan Accelerator Plus, aka TACC Plus. Hello, Ellen.
Hi.
So today they will share their insights on the topic of could Taiwan be the fashion tech hub? So really looking forward to it. So please note that this webinar will be recorded and then will be available online and shared with all attendees. And also we'd love to hear from you. So if you have any questions during the speaker's presentation, please type them in the chat room or hold them until the Q&A session. So now let's welcome Claire Zhang, founder of techmoy.com. Claire.
Thanks, Qing. So first, I would like to share the presentation file with everyone. Hold on a second. Okay. Hi, everyone. I'm Claire, the founder of the TechMoy, and I'm also the founder of the FashTech Hub. So today's agenda is that I will share the point of view about the fashion tech in Taiwan, and then Ellen will share her insight of and the challenges she faced when manage the stocks and the Taiwan suppliers. So if you have any questions, feel free to share, to raise your hands and let us know. And please keep a mute, and we will let you ask questions if you raise hands or you type your question at the chat room. That Qing will have to transfer it to me. Okay. So FashTech Hub. At the beginning, I would like to share what is FashTech Hub. FashTech Hub is a community for connecting, sharing, and sustaining fashion technology with global resources and business opportunities. We started this community about 6 years ago. During the time, we started to have a small talk event like this, but a physical one. And because of COVID-19, we stopped the event for a while. But now we are back, and we are going to continue the event as a regular one. So then we will have our monthly event. You can mark it on your calendar. It will be the fourth Thursday every month. So, for example, this one should be the last week one, but we postponed it to today. Then, and then we will also host the workshops like for design thinking, business strategy, IoT 101, basic coding, and material science 101, etc. Stay tuned that we will share more information with you later. And we will also co-host the hackathon with other corporates or other organizations. And we are aiming to have a Asia Fashion Tech Week, which would be an exhibition in 2023. So if you are interested in this exhibition, feel free to contact me or Qing for more details. So I'm Claire Zhang. I'm the founder of TechMoy. I used to be the co-director of Founder Institute Taipei. Founder Institute Taipei is the pre-early stage accelerator, which is startups. They came to us with their own ideas, and then we help them to transfer their ideas to products. And I'm also the adjunct lecturers of Fujian University and National Taiwan University of Science and Technology. And I used to be the co-founder of Women in IoT. So my expertise is in color science and color communication. Also, I did a lot of work with the strategy design consulting. And that is something about me. And I would like to let Qing to introduce herself. Qing.
Well, hi everyone. So my name is Qing Hua Ling, but you may call me Qing. So basically, I have 20 years experience in fashion magazines, digital media, and some tech startups and publishers and beauty brands. So basically, my mission is just to bridge technology within business. And then my specialty is in B2B marketing strategy, management consultancy, strategy planning, PR, and then fashion lifestyle journalism. So I've written several articles. So if you are interested in reading, then I will just share with you later. So basically, now I'm in SaaS industry, and then I'm also bridging AI and machine learning applications in the business. And also now we are working on some digital fashion and some business in Web3 and the metaverse. So as what Claire mentioned, next year we're gonna organize a lot of activities and events and a webinar expo. So welcome to join us. So that's it. Thanks. And then let's keep in touch. We will have our contact later. Thanks.
So here is the thanks Qing. Then here is the our Facebook, or if you have any questions, feel free to email us. And we have a FashTech@gmail.com, or you can email me or Qing. And today's outline, I'd like to make an introduction of the background about the fashion tech knowledge. And then I will briefly introduce the strengths and the benefit in Taiwan. And then we will talk about the challenge we have now and how we work on this. And then we will have a Q&A section. Before we start, I'd like to ask everybody, when fashion technology comes to you, what do you think about this? What's come to your mind? Anyone want to share?
Yeah, I guess everyone is quite shy.
No problem. Yeah, so fashion is always at the front of innovation. For example, when we start to talking about the trend, fashion, especially the fashion about the clothes, the accessories are always come forward at the beginning of the season, even though before the season. From the invention of from the whole supply chain, fashion industry supply chain is quite long, from the sewing machine to the marketplace. You can see that there are so many parties joining into this supply chain. And then fashion sector is also one of the largest industry in the world, estimated to be worth more than 3 trillion by the end of the decade, according to CB Insights Industry Analysis consensus. But still, till today, fashion technology is growing at a faster pace than ever. So what is fashion technology? When I ask people, what do you think fashion technology is? Everybody comes back different ideas. So generally, according to the New York Fashion Tech Lab, they have the category, the so-called fashion technology into these areas for like a three-dimensional printing, manufacturing, AI chatbot, AI VR, business intelligence, data visualization, FashTech, IoT, manufacturing, machine learning, mass production, mass customization, merchandising, etc. And also something we all know about the fashion tech is wearables. So what is trend in the next few years about the fashion tech? The one thing that we can see is that wearable. We always talking about wearable technologies. No matter you see it or not seeing it. So it's easy to understand because wearable means you have to wear on your body. It's more fit our imagination about the clothes, right? So wearable is more easy to recognize as a fashion technology. And also these 2 years, because of the Web3, metaverse, virtual fashion comes up. And many people get involved into this. Digital twins, three-dimensional scanning, because of the clothes, that most of the time we need to measure the bodies. But if we don't measure it by human hands, how can we do it? So many companies that come with the idea to use the three-dimensional scanning technology, and that is something implemented into the apparel garment manufacturing industry as already, and crypto, blockchain, and live stream shopping, for example. These are the trends for the next few years. I would like to share one impressive show in Paris Fashion Week. I think many of us have already seen this before.
I think we can't hear the sound. Is it?
Can you see? Can you hear the
Does it
sound?
matter? No, we don't.
No?
Yeah, just tiny bit.
Okay. Okay, so that is sample for the fashion tech. Beyond our traditional image of the fashion tech, material is also very important. And nowadays there are so many different kinds of materials coming up, and there are more and more application on it. So this one I would like to share is very interesting because it's not for the consumer side, it's more for the manufacturing side, but it's very important because in the past when we make a clothes that we need to make the patterns, which means that we have to measure the body, and then we make patterns and then put those patterns to the models and to do the fitting. But nowadays we will be able to use the different kind of improvement to make this work more easier, much easier. Okay, that is more interesting because in the past we have to prepare different size of the body, and then for fitting. But nowadays that we only need one, and then it will zoom in, zoom out due to the size you are using, and it could be controlled by the computer. So furthermore, it could collect the data back to the computer, and using the machine learning to calculate the size and the more data we need to use in the future. So another trend is so-called smart textile, which is we can see it on different fashion week or different shows that always talking about a smart textile. Most thing is that the lighting fibers. In the past, we manufacture the lighting fibers fabric by consumer electronic manufacturers instead of textile manufacturers, which makes this kind of materials very expensive because it's for consumer electronic goods using instead of real clothing. So some textile manufacturers in Taiwan, they start to think about it. Hey, it's not reasonable because textile manufacturers can also do this, and the cost could be maybe 1/3, even just half of they have done with the electronic manufacturers. That they started to make the improvement by using textile weaving machines, and then nowadays they can make the mass production not only to compare to the electronic manufacturers, the volume is much bigger than before. So also this one is something we see more often than wearables. You can see the devices on the clothes, on the bodies, that will be able to detect the motion, gesture, your physical data, and collect this data back to your app or your computer. Then they will analyze, they will generate the result for you. And this is more recently, people are talking about like a NFT fashion or AR/VR, metaverse, Web3, digital fashion. I will not talk too much about this today because that we will have a session to talk about this in the end of this month. So I will save some time from here. But I would like to show you the general idea. Okay, so these are the trend for the next. But in the world, who are doing this? I list some more famous or more well-known organizations or program for your reference, like a Stop Bootcamp. They have the FashionTech Summit program in Milan, and the New York FashionTech Lab, which is this one is interesting because New York FashionTech Lab is collaborated with the New York City government. They got a fund to support this program, and they in the past they only accept US based startups and only accept the woman lead company. So this one is interesting, but general speaking, in the fashion area, female employees or female got involved into this industry is actually much more than men. So it's not a weird thing that they prefer to accept women-led companies to enter into the program. And another one is the LVMH. They have the Maison de Sable program, which is based in their biggest startup base in Paris. And this program, they have twice a year. They will accept the application twice a year. And this one is a real show called Fashion Runway Project. I guess many of us know the very famous real TV program called Project Runway. They have this fashion startup session for about maybe 2 years only. They invited investors, serial entrepreneurs, and fashion magazine organizers to join as the judge, and then they will bring the different types of the fashion stuff to come to show to pitch their ideas. And this one is the Mills Fabrica based in Hong Kong. This one is interesting because it used to be a traditional textile manufacturers, but nowadays they transform their old mills manufacturer site to startup base, and you can see many different kind of lifestyle tech in their buildings, and also they have the program to support the sustainability and fashion for good, etc. And for the well-known show like a FashionTech Week, FashionTech Berlin, and the Code, they have a Fashion Hackathon and a Fashion Tech Summit. And this one is interesting because this is based in Munich, Germany, called Key House. They host it's a smart textile exhibitions. They host this show in every January. In this show, you can see not only the traditional textile, they bring a lot of different kinds of the material, different kinds of application on the textile manufacturing. It could be applied to not only the clothes, but also for the consumer electronic goods. So this one is quite interesting. So we talked about the world. How about Taiwan? What can we do? And what we are doing? This is the this chart shows the manufacturers of Taiwan's textile and apparel industry. Actually, in Taiwan, we usually doing the export to other countries. But nowadays in Taiwan, you can rarely see the manufacturer's factory site in Taiwan, because textile industry is a highly pollution industry, and in the past we have to use a lot of waters. We produce a lot of air pollution, water pollutions. So before like 20, 30 years ago, the factory sites started to move to like China and now Southeast Asia. However, in Taiwan, we keep one thing very important is our R&D. We are still very good to develop and to develop the new materials, new application of textiles, new function of textiles. Now we are having the World Cup for football, and you can see there are 90% jersey were made in Taiwan. I mean, made in Taiwan means that not really manufacturers in Taiwan, but most of the fabric functional fabrics are developed in Taiwan. So that is something we are good at doing this. And also we have a different organization, different events to promote Taiwan textile. For example, like we have Titas in every October. We have now we have a Taiwan Smart Textile Association, which is an alliance that there are about 20 Taiwan textile manufacturers companies. They align to have this association to promote Taiwan Smart Textile. Not only for the fashion, for clothing, but also for the healthcare for the consumer electronic. And we also have the we also have Computex in every June. Now in Computex there are not only consumer electronic stuffs, but there is also the smart tech, smart clothing, smart textile into it. So this here is the alliance that you can see from the very famous textile companies, and then to very famous electronic companies. And we are also a big consumer electronic manufacturing site. So there are 10, these are the most common thing stuff manufacturers in Taiwan. And then here is the supply chain and analysis, which made by Digitimes Asia in May this year. So from here, we can see that we have so many good resources about the textile, which we have been the #1 many years, and we are still working very hard to develop new things, not only from the material, material means from the raw material like the chemicals, but also from there we also transform our factory site to be more intelligent with the AI, with new technology, IoT, to make the smart factories. And also we have a very good consumer electronic manufacturer experience. To combine these two different areas, we're supposed to have many good I wouldn't say result, but many good combinations, many good ideas. And don't forget, we also have a very good talents in Taiwan. So here I list some Taiwanese startups who are working on the fashion tech, and some of them are working very hard and be the unicorn or be the very famous in the world. So this one is a perfect group. They just got on market a few months back, and they are doing the AR, VR that you can use it to stimulate the makeup on your face using the AR, VR technology. And Frontier, they are using the image processing to they use the image searching AI machine learning to help the supply chain designers to manage their fabrics and support them to have a more efficient style. Okay, and this is also the perfect group. And this is iStation. iStation was one of the LVMH, La Maison des Sables alumni. They are doing an AR VR exhibition, and how they support their client, like brands, to reorganize their display from the physical store to online, especially during the COVID-19 time. Many people could not go shopping on streets, so they moved that from the street to the web. And this one is, I think many of them know her very well. She is a designer, Li Wang. She used our Taiwan smart textile to do a lot of fashion design. And she also got a very good feedback in the world. And this is Transcend. Transcend use is a little different from the leading one. Transcend, they are more functional and they are more how do I say that? They're more functional. They are more customer faced product, and they use a lot of Taiwanese small textile to control this jacket, that you can control the temperature. And so you can see that there is not only the textile, not only the fabric, there are a lot of electronic devices and electronic circulate into it. So how to mix match these stuffs could be a challenge. And egg is a very famous smart textile, smart devices for the wearables. They have many good application cases in the wearable devices. And this one is the traditional fabric waving site, but they use a different technology to detect the fabric on time, so they know when they is there anything go wrong before they finish the production. So in Taiwan, what strengths do we have and what benefits do we have? The first thing is that the distance. In Taiwan, you can see that we are in the center of the East Asia. We are close not only to China, to Hong Kong, Macau, Philippines, and Vietnam. So that is a very good thing for us, that we are capable to travel to other countries in Asia, East Asia, conveniently. And the second thing is, you can see from here that we have a manufacturing site very intensive in the west side of the Taiwan. So there are so many different types of the factories. Most of factories in Taiwan are small, medium size, but they do a lot of work to support the whole supply chain. So how I will take this for an instance. For the FashionTech, how we merge that into our design process. At the beginning, we will have the concept design, and then we will have to do the tech research and try to do the prototyping to see if our idea is reliable or is reasonable. And then we will need to do the material research. After that, we will have to do the garment prototype. That is a little different from the tech research, tech prototyping, because when we do the garment prototype, which means that we have to put some other software onto the garment, like where to put the devices, where to put the wires, and then we have to do the circular layout design, because when we wear a clothes or when we put something on our body, it will touch our most of the time, and we would like to feel it's soft. It's not very harsh, or it's very stitchy, or which can make you feel uncomfortable. So that is very important, how to make it feel, how could make your user feel comfortable. Feel is soft, feel is stretch, it's able to stretch. So then we will have an assembly and a final production. So in Taiwan, we have many different kinds of resource for supporting the whole design process. For example, like we will have a concept idea, then we can do the tech research. We have so many manufacturers or consulting firms or small medium like a accelerator like a E3 to support us to search the technology that we might need to have, and then we were able to use three-dimensional printing to make the prototype. And then we were able to find different types of circulate or layout mechanic engineering in Taiwan. And then we also have a different, for the small production, we have the triple in the past. And then we have a Taiwan Textile Association, which have the smaller volume center that could support to make it small production. And we have a one house in Taoyuan. They have not only the small volume production, they also have a testing house that you can use it to do many different kind of like a windy, like a snow in the snow, this kind of temperature testing. And also we have a Lab Taipei, which is the maker space. You can try to do a prototype or try to consult the idea, the concept is possible or not, or what kind of advice that you might need from the Fab Lab. And this one I would like to share with you is the Sustainable Materials Library. This one is in Taichung. They have the material database. You can see it digitally, which they are building now, not available yet, but they have the physical material lab, that material libraries that you can touch, you can feel the materials, and you can also see the suppliers' informations and the materials basic information there. And also they will provide some final product which made by these materials. And we also have some interesting program like FashTech Taiwan. They have open innovation program which collaborate with Decathlon. Decathlon is a French sportswear company. They have 3 digital R&D center in the world. One is in France, one is in Taiwan, and one is in Shenzhen. According to what mentioned before, the one in Taiwan is the most important for them because they say they can find most suppliers around their design center, and they can because of in Taiwan the travel distance is very short. So they are able to have the best communication with their suppliers. So that's the reason why they put their digital R&D center in Taiwan. And Maklo is one of the largest apparel garment manufacturers in Taiwan. Now they are not. They have ambition, not only doing the traditional apparel manufacturers. They are trying to do more through the metaverse, digital fashion, and they also try to apply some know-how into the sport tech. And this one is the shoes technology center in Taichung. They used to have the fashion fashion bootcamp program, which accept the worldwide applications. So we have so many good resources. We have so many good opportunities. We have so many good feedbacks from our suppliers, from our people. But what is our challenge? The problem is that the challenge from my point of view, I discovered that one thing is that the mindset. We are not really that supporting the creativity in our education system. So people who want to do the fashion design, they are not really get so many support, or they might have some limitation from their for their imagination. So I think to overcome that, as we can be more open, we can be more able to accept the different kind of ideas from, for example, like a Fabrica Academy. This is the it is an organization that support the designers to do the fashion design, but combine some technique wise know-how. And also we have many AI talents how to support or how to work with designers. So that is something that we can move on. And technology feels creativity. I think that is always something some people might think is very difficult, or some people think, oh, okay, that is something we have to do for the next step. If we want to be the hub, if we want to be the number one, the number one in Asia, then we have to change our mindset. We have to give them more support to cross-discipline, to have more possibilities. And I think that is something we can do, and we can make our industry or ecosystem more healthy. Okay, so that is my part. Thank you for listening. Then I would like to invite Ellen to share the insight of her from her experience about working with the fashion tech startups.
Awesome. Yeah, thanks, Claire. Okay, so let's welcome Ellen. Ellen, are you ready?
Yeah, thanks. Thanks, Ching, and thanks for Claire's information in the first half. And I'm gonna share a little bit like overseas startup case in Taiwan that I've been doing, I think back in 2016. But thanks for Claire, because I don't even remember it's been so long. And my background is not textile. And so the reason I'm here to share my experience is because I was between like 2016 to 19, I was working in a government project called Triple, and the objective of this project is to basically connecting the overseas hardware startup with Taiwan supply chain ecosystem, because Taiwan has been doing the manufacturing in the past 30 years, and when the booming of the startup trend, and we think that Taiwan market is good lending country for hardware startup, because the nature of the industry, and large factory has moved to China, so we will be able to do the small volume and high mix business model with the clients. So startup is good the environment for startup, when they do start the very small volume, or even start with the prototyping stage. And it's a good resources and country for them to start developing their products. So that's a bit of my background. And from starting from 2020 to now, I'm working in a Taiwan Accelerator Plus. It's also a government project. So we basically support the startups from the early stage to mature stage to help them to have a systematic startup program or courses to build their fundamental and to grow their business. That's a bit about me. Next page. Thank you. So the case of this startup is called Machina, and it's founded by a couple of Mexican. They founded this Machina company in 2011. And next page. Yeah. And why they start this business? It's all start with a scholarship. When the male founders was doing a government the school projects, they had the idea to make the electronic into clothing. But I think it's back to 2006, and no one believing then to make electronic into clothes. So they decided to build their own, and they believe that's gonna be a trend in the futures. That's how they start the wearable technology. Yeah. So their first product is back to 2012, and they launched their ever first product called MIDI jacket. I think it's more clear if you play the YouTube, people will know what's this, but not sure if they can hear the voice. They basically the sound doesn't come out, right? So they basically put the sensor and accelerometer into clothing. So basically it can, by waving the arm or by touching the panel, it control the beats and sounds of the music. So the DJs can, you see the hands. When they move the hand, the sounds will move together with to embed it into the music. So that's their first ever fashion MIDI jacket launching the Kickstarter. Yeah. So they got very successful. They founded they got completed the project in Kickstarter, but there's two major issues. Thinking about these Mexican couples, and they were in the fashion industry, but they have very little knowledge about the electronic mass production. So every single pieces they ship it out are handmade. So it takes them day and night to complete each single jacket to ship to the clients. And there's a second thing they miss out is they didn't expect the global shipment will eat all their profit. Thinking about if there's one client ordering from Africa, so you have to pay for the shipments and to ship to their house. So all these ship to the individual door take all their profits. That's their second major problem when they start their first product. Okay, so first product is 2012, and in 2016, and they were invested by Highway One of the accelerator in Silicon Valley. So they got funded. They started second projects in US, and also founded the US entity. Mm. So if you remember, from 2016 to 19, I was doing a government project to connect hardware startup with Taiwan manufacturing ecosystem. So we were visiting some of the hardware accelerator, trying to get awareness or some projects from those startup, and also bring some of our key suppliers to US to understand the market, understand the demands. That's how we met with the Machina in US. So it's very interesting. When we were looking, we didn't know too many people in Highway 1. We just want to, when we were there, we want to make the chance to knock the door and to see if we can talk to the people inside. And I don't remember how we get in, but I think somebody was um, yelling or sharing that there's a Taiwan supply chain delegation here, and if there's anyone interesting to meet them. And no one responded. Only Machina responded, and he came to see us and show us their first prototype. You see the pink arrows. That's their where their sensor is located. And our suppliers, experience their, immersion smart clothing. So wearing the AR glasses and with their jackets, your hands become your weapon. Your hands, is stimulating the real virtual world. Okay, next one. So that's how we met then in May 2016. And I think they were in the Korea during September or October timeframe. And the founder happened to text me, "Hey, Ellen, I'm nearby. I'm in Asia. If there's a chance, I can visit you because it's nearby." And it happened to in every October there's a Taiwan textile export. So I say, hey, that's a good chance that you can understand industry, understand our electronic ecosystem, to see if that's a good country for to develop your smart clothing, your wearable technology. So you see on the left, that's the export, and on the bottom left, that's I think we bring them to south of Taiwan, the textile manufacturing. We also bring them to on the right top. There's one of the OEM ODM textile manufacturing. They manufacturing for a lot of large brand company, clothing company, and because they are open to new innovation, open to staff to work with them. So they have their staff or director to come to understand what's the demand, if there's any opportunity to cooperate with them. And we also bring them to understand how their electronic component can embed into their clothing. So we bring them to visit the manufacturer, the factory, also to the mechanical design designers to see if their design is feasible on a large manufacturing, because it happened to a lot of time staff will have their then ideal mechanical design, but when it comes to production, it doesn't make any sense. So that's how those experienced designer can help them to modify and to make it feasible for large volume. Yeah, next. So what they learn after they visit Taiwan, understand the ecosystem of textile and electronic. First thing is to do the cross-industry innovation, because Taiwan is combined with the second points, like from what Claire has shared, from north to south, it takes only 1.5 hours by high-speed railway. So it's easy like to do the cross-industry innovation. By saying that, meaning that if you are doing the manufacturing in, for example, south of Taiwan, and your mechanical designer is in north of Taiwan, or is you some of the component supply probably in the middle of Taiwan, it's easy for them to get together and to organize a physical meeting to actually discuss the problem and doing some workshops to solve the problem or issue, to move forward to the getting items. And the second thing is, from what I mentioned, because the short distance and modern transportation environment is good for communication and component delivery. It can come in within half day. You get the missing components or missing parts. And the third thing is I think I mentioned in the beginning, like small volume and high mix business model for our electronic company. A lot of factory which still stay in Taiwan, their production line is relatively small, and so it's very friendly for early stage startup because they probably only do like 10 or 20 pieces each time and grows to like 50 or 100 to test the market. And it's not gonna happen in China because they all started with like a few thousand pieces. It's not affordable for our staff, so it's a good landing page place for staff. Yeah. So the result comes by that stage comes out very well because the textile manufacturing see their potential, see their creativity. They are willing also to reserve a spare space in their innovation departments to give them a showroom to demo their solution, and also together with their smart clothing. So that's, I think, pretty good because you rarely have chance to meet the Mexican staff, right? Okay, next. So I think that to wrap up on this, I think the challenge for hardware staff, I mean for the smart clothing, the company who are doing the small company, if you are the staff, I think the challenge is for supplier, usually if they do the projects, doing the small volume or doing the mechanical design or electronic design in the early stage, they don't. It's for them. It's a project base, and they don't make too much profit on it. Their business model is more on the mass production. So that, but the awkward side is staff is usually unstable. You don't know, the success rate is low, so you get very high chance that they don't go mass production. I think that's the major gap, I think, in the past. Like they are very friendly for staff. They aiming that they will be successful, and when it comes to successful business model, business, they can they can have this as a partner to produce as a large volume mass production. But usually the staff will die before they go mass production. So I think that's always the challenge in terms of business. Yeah. So my suggestion for staff is the first thing is open-minded when a stranger approach you. Because if Antonio, the founder from China, don't spend time to show us, I think we won't have that journey in Taiwan. But because his curiosity or because his open-minded mindset, it's happened for us to come up with this journey. And also find a local representative who knows the ecosystem, because in Taiwan still the electronic ecosystem and textile ecosystem is condensed, but you need people who has this relationship, because a lot of company probably very small and they don't even have English website. You need to have someone who knows the market to refer you to someone who has very high expertise but very low marketing skill. And this local representative will help you to find the way, also help you to communicate between them. That will move your business relatively more smooth. And the last key takeaway I want to share is keep updated on business status, because all the suppliers are aiming to their client will go mass production. To do that, they can make money. So they want to know what's going on, and if you're on your track, or if it's on your objective. If it's on, if you can keep on communication between these, I think it gives the supplier the confidence to keep working with you in the early stage, because they will feel that the time they spent won't be wasted. It's worth to get return in the future. Thank you.
Thank you, Ellen, for your insights and your suggestions. So I guess everyone will had learned a lot from Claire and Ellen today. So now it's a Q&A time. So please welcome to turn on your camera and your microphone if you like to ask questions, or just raise your hands. And then now we've got questions from this audience has no name, but I don't know who you are, but the username is ASUSX00TDB, and this person is asking that is wondering what challenges apparel and textile industry in Taiwan would face, and thus should make efforts to deal with when it comes to zero carbon eco policy and resulting penalty if offended.
I think that is something, as mentioned, that the apparel and textile industry is a high pollution industry. So in the past, of course, there are a lot of things they cannot improve. They were not able to improve. But nowadays, thanks for the technology, there are more ways to decrease the pollutions. For example, in the past, we need to use a lot of water to dye fabrics, but nowadays they can use the digital printing to dye the fabric instead of water dyeing. So that is one thing. And also they have most of textile industries or textile manufacturer companies, they are aware of the SDG, so-called SDG or sustainability. So they also have the special task force team to deal with it. So I think the situation is getting better because of technology wise, but still they have to, for example, like you mentioned about zero carbon or carbon footprint. Some companies started to do that like 20 years ago, but they don't see the good results from that. So some of them stop the some companies stopped it, and which is not, for me, I wouldn't say it's a good thing, but for company profit, they say, oh no, it's not a good thing to do that. So I think there are still some way to go. I hope that answers your questions.
Okay, thanks, Claire. And then now we have one more question, is that if mass production is the only way, that leads to success.
Alan, you want to answer that?
I think it depends on the business model of the supplier. If it's more like a design company, and they make a profit by by the project base. I think it's not the only way. But if the company is aiming for mass production, I think that's the way. I think it's depend on the business model. And one thing I want to highlight is when a lot of like case come to me, I think the issue is how start. If they are in the early stage and they actually don't have too much money to invest on the supplier. So the demand side don't have money, the supply side they want to make a profit. So if they want to cooperate in the early stage, they cannot charge too much money, right? So they will be aiming that the profit coming from mass production when you are successful. So I think that's the dilemma. A lot of case that I have matched. It's not the only way, but I think it depends on the business model of the two party, and that's always the issue. That's the who pays the money.
Okay, awesome. So now we have our members from our community have questions to Alan. That's how if we want to collaborate with those startup, like fashion startup team, as what you introduced, Machina, and how can we start it? From where, or finding some key person or something?
Because the triple project is funded by, because it all comes with the business model. Because when there's government funded, they hire us to execute the project and encourage to build or bring the stuff into the industry. But the project has been ended. Now it's executed by ITRI, the Industry Research Technology Institute, and but it's not sponsored by ITRI. So it comes with the business model. Like if you have demand, and we will see what's the requirement, and it will comes with the understanding the requirements, and see if we can help you to link up with the resources, and see who pays the expenses. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Yeah. So anyone have more questions?
I think there's one more questions. Yeah. So will fashion technology encourage so-called tailor-made or customized style to become a reality? Otherwise, it will probably be a luxury very few people can afford. I would agree with you, but it's based on how tailor-made or how personalized style. Because for some brands or some companies, they have a basic line for people to add on something to be so-called tailor-made or customized style. So that would be cheaper than from the zero to one tailor-made stuff. So it depends on how tailor-made or how customized you want. And the one thing is that I wouldn't think, I think it would be difficult to define this, because there's also some some people they try to use like an NFT to make it more personalized or more customized. But in that way, then there might be some solutions to solve the cost stuff. Yeah, so I think this is very interesting questions that we can discuss more later. So due to the time limit.
Yes,